I have so much to update. I cannot believe it's only been a week since my last video. Are you ready to see what my first ever Hermes bag is after only meeting with my SA twice? Without further ado, let's unbox. So, it's actually in this box here, and it's quite small, so I think you might be able to guess already what it is. But it is a mini Evelyne in beton clemence leather with gold hardware. This is not a bag that I asked for in any means, but it is the perfect starter Hermes bag, and my H fairy is such a dream. So if you're not super familiar, the color beton is an off-white with slightly beigey gray undertones, and Evelynes are typically made in clemence or Epsom leather. Clemence, which is what this bag is, looks very similar to Togo but has a smoother, flatter, larger grain, is scratch resistant, and also has no veining. It's also made from young bull hide versus Togo, which is made from baby calf. The mini Evelyne is the smallest size of the Evelyne line and comes with a crossbody strap. Has one side with the perforated H, whereas the other side is completely blank. The strap, which let me just pull out. The strap, as you can see, is fabric, so it's super comfy and casual, and this is the most perfect grab-and-go bag. There is definitely a story I need to tell behind this bag, but first let me mod the bag and show you different ways that you can wear it. Also, hi, I'm Somidoshoppers. I upload videos once a week on luxury and fashion. My Hermes journey is a bit of a series on my channel, so make sure to subscribe so you do not miss out. Also, a couple of subscribers have asked me to introduce my cutie Shiba Inu, so I will be doing that at the end of the video. Okay, so on to the mod. So the main people wear any Evelyne really is crossbody. I'm 5'7", and the strap drop is approximately, I think, around 22-23 inches, so it's a manageable length. It's really nice that this bag is made from clemence leather, because normally I would worry about color transfer against this light color, and I'm not saying it can't happen, but clemence is definitely a tougher leather than lambskin, for example. My next video will actually be about how to protect your leather bags and remove stains, so be on the lookout for that. The crossbody is super comfortable, but this bag is adorable, and you might want to bring it along to a nicer occasion, so you can actually convert this bag into a shoulder bag with just a twilly. I picked up this twilly when I got my mini Evelyne. It is this beautiful dark blue with orange accents and these tiny little horse and equestrian detailing. I thought it was so elegant, and I loved that it exemplified all Hermes was with the orange and equestrian details. You can buy this one online too, so the link will be down in the description. I will just show two ways now, but I will also include some pictures on the screen of some other great ways you can utilize your twilly with the mini Evelyne. But let me show you how you can use your twilly to accessorize your mini Evelyne. So the first way that I'm going to show you is just a very simple way to create a longer shoulder bag look. So first you want to take off your crossbody strap. I'm so sorry about my Shiba, he's very curious. But you're going to take your twilly and you're simply just going to loop it through your D-rings and tie it. So I'm gonna use my knee. But going to loop it through and then tie it on one side, and then I'm going to tie the other. So now you can see that I kind of hastily tied my twilly onto my mini Evelyne, but as you can see, now we've created this adorable little shoulder bag look. And I'm not sure if you actually knew about this, but Hermes sells different length twillies. So this is just their standard twilly size, but they do actually sell twillies that are quite longer than the average one. And those are made specifically to be worn as crossbody straps. So if you'd like a longer shoulder drop than what this twilly can give you, definitely look for the longer twillies. You can definitely ask any SA. I will say though that the designs that I saw for those twillies in store were a little bit more on the eccentric side, so I didn't like them, but hopefully in the future seasons they will start to produce some of the more cuter and neutral designs of those longer twillies. So the second way that I'm going to show you is actually my favorite. It creates a very proper shoulder bag and it is so adorable. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to put back your crossbody strap on, but what you're going to do is you're going to actually hook both sides of your crossbody onto the same D-ring, just like so. And you're going to want it so that it creates a very flat loop like this. And then you're going to take your twilly and loop it through your strap. Have it such that the twilly is going and meeting the strap right in the middle. And then you're going to loop both ends back through your opposite D-ring. And there's multiple ways that you can kind of do this. I'm just going to show you probably the most simple way that you can do it. So I'm going to pull the twilly all the way through the D-ring such that the strap is pretty much touching the D-ring. And then I'm going to just tie a very simple bow. And now you can see I have the most adorable going out shoulder bag. So I would typically tie the bow on this side. I wasn't really paying attention, but you can see that from the front, you just get this adorable bow detailing. From the side, you have your Evelyne strap still, so it's kind of creating that very cohesive, neutral look, whereas it's still being able to add any pop of color. I absolutely love this baton color because it's just so neutral, and adding a twilly can really jazz the bag up in an infinite amount of ways with all outfits and seasons. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite way of wearing your Evelyne is. Okay, let's get into the story time of how I even got this bag, and then I'm going to share some tips on how I think you can be successful too. It's not that long of a story, but it's unexpected to say the least. So for those of you who didn't watch my previous video, I recommend you check it out, but I am going to recap that I am new to Hermes. I've now met my SA a total of 3 times, and the third time was just to pop in and pick up this Evelyne. So let me just start off from where we last left off. So after my first visit, I texted my SA again, maybe about 5 days after, asking if I could see him again the following week because I wanted to look at some baby goods. My best friend just let me know she's having a beautiful baby girl, so I wanted to get a gift for her baby shower. My SA texted back quite a bit later actually. He said he'd been on a holiday, but he was happy to set up an appointment. And I specifically requested a weekday morning right when the store opened because I wanted a very leisurely and quiet visit. So the day of my visit comes, and as soon as I walk in, he's super warm and friendly. I ask him about his holiday and we chat and laugh about that, and I also asked him a little bit about where he was from. So I think that really helped us gain some rapport between us. He immediately went to the baby goods section and I picked out what I wanted, and after I picked out my items, he told me since I'm his first client, he can actually offer me what he has. So he mentioned he had a mini Evelyne and a rodeo charm, and I was pretty surprised because everything I'd read about online or seen on YouTube kind of mentioned how you will need to establish a good relationship with your SA first before you're really offered anything. I asked to see the Evelyne because I'd actually never seen an Evelyne, let alone a mini size before, but I declined to see the rodeo because it was in a color I just didn't think I'd be interested in. The Evelyne he brought out was a felt material and wasn't in a color I liked. I'll include a picture of me trying it on here, so I ended up turning down both items. After that, he remembered I wore a Kelly belt the first time that I came in and said that he had received some new colors, so I asked to be shown the black and the mauve pale, which is a new seasonal color. The mauve pale was such a pretty pastel purple with palladium hardware, so I actually ended up taking that home with me, which is in this box here. Because I expressed that I loved the mauve color, my SA said that he actually has an in the loop bag in mauve if I'd be interested. I said I did want to see it, so he brought it, but it was actually a size 23 and it was too big and slouchy for me, but the color was very pretty. It was actually mauve Sylvester, not mauve pale. I'll include a little picture here. But after that, I asked to look at a specific silver jewelry piece, but unfortunately the store didn't have it. So then lastly, I asked to look at some of their equestrian wear as I will be riding when I go on vacation in September. And the equestrian line is actually decently affordable, so I did select one of their riding polos, and that was all I wanted to see during the visit. So at that visit, all I got was some baby goods, which I can't really reveal just because I haven't given the gift yet, but I actually didn't get anything like very expensive. The baby goods are very cute at Hermes, and there are some very affordable pieces there. I also picked up the Kelly belt, which I'll maybe unbox at the end of this video. And then lastly, I got the riding polo shirt, which I'll include a picture here. So that was all I wanted to see during the visit, and on the way to the register, he asked me to let him know if there were any bags that I was interested in. I had previously never mentioned bags until this point, but since he was asking, I brought it up that I would love a Picotin 18 in a neutral beige or white, and he actually immediately checked the stock for me on his phone, but sadly none were available that I wanted. He did mention that the store had gotten a lot of stock the day before, but when I asked, he said it was not correlated to it being the beginning of the month or anything like that, and that shipments were totally random. When he said that there wasn't any Picotin available, I said, you know, that's totally okay. I understand. They're very popular colors that I want, but my essay said that he was a popular guy and that he would definitely contact me soon. So I go home, and maybe an hour later, I get a text from my essay asking for the exact specs of the Picotin I would like. And once I text him back, he asks if there are any other bag styles I'd like. I very casually told him, of course, my dream bags are BK25 or Mini K, but I know that can be a very long ways away, so I'm totally open to anything he recommends. I did specify, though, that I'm really only interested in small bags in neutral colors, but didn't specifically mention any bag by name. He said that he would be on the lookout for me, and I thought, great, maybe I'll see him in a month to catch up. But I get a text from him 3 days later asking if I can come into the store because he has something for me with a winky face. And I was just going like, huh? Small bags in neutral colors are so popular at Hermes, and I didn't think I'd be getting anything so soon. I definitely thought it was going to be a Picotin because I had asked for one. So when I popped into the store, I was super surprised, but very pleasantly so, that it was actually this mini Evelyne. I am so grateful to my essay that he really listened and internalized what my preferences were and surprised me with this bag that he genuinely thought I would like and match my style. I immediately said yes to the bag, and then after I checked out, he said that I should expect to hear from him soon again. So that is the story of how I got my very first Hermes bag ever, and to me it was just completely unexpected. Of course, on YouTube and online, most of the Hermes journeys kind of focus around getting your quota bag and maybe less so about getting the non-quota bags like Evelyne, Picotin, Lindy, etc. So I didn't know too much about if it was difficult to get these bags, but I had heard that getting mini of anything like a mini Evelyne, mini Lindy is a little bit more difficult than getting just a larger bag of the same style. So to get the call from my SA just after meeting him 2 times was just completely unexpected. And I think I just got so lucky with who my SA is. He is so friendly, so nice, so funny. We get along like a dream, and I could not ask for anybody else to assist me on this journey. Please let me know down in the comments when you got your first Hermes bag. I would love to know. So I did want to share just a couple of tips or advice, I guess, that maybe might help you along and be successful in your journey. Again, like I said, please take my advice with a grain of salt. I am an absolute newbie when it comes to Hermes. Of course, I've done my research before going into store, but it is important that I just don't have a lot of like first-hand experience interacting with different essays and the brand itself. So this is just what I've noticed from my few times of going into store and talking with my essay. But please, I think everybody's journey is very unique, so please keep that in mind. But I think number one, just kind of looking back on what I've done so far, I think the number one thing that I would recommend is actually to try Hermes products before you go into store. Of course, it's totally up to you. You might want to get your first piece in store because that is a really special experience. But I actually really recommend maybe trying some of their leather goods or items online or even through reseller sites, because it just gives you a little bit more familiarity with the brand and shows that you are truly interested in it and you have some pre-existing knowledge, so you can have a little bit more of a conversation with your SA. Like I mentioned, on my second visit, my SA had remembered that I had worn a Kelly belt and he recommended some items, and he knew that I was already interested in certain types of leather and certain types of styles. So I think that was really helpful in him kind of understanding like, hey, this person is actually truly interested in the brand and getting to know the products better. So if you can, I would say when you're kind of perusing to select your first essay, I would wear maybe your favorite Hermes item going into store, and that can just help your essay like spark a conversation and get to know you better. The second thing I would recommend is whenever you go into store, and this might just be a given, I would dress in a way that exemplifies what you would like your bags to be, if that makes sense. So whenever I go into store, and this is just like my style, so it's not like I'm purposely dressing a certain way to kind of go into the store. But I dress pretty much all in neutral colors. I have certain pops of colors here and there. I do like color, but generally when I'm going out, what I'm doing, I prefer to dress in neutrals like blacks, whites, grays, beiges, like that kind of thing. So whenever my SA saw me, I was always kind of in a neutral color, and I had told him a couple times that I was really only interested in neutral bags. And so I think like him seeing me in neutral colors and me telling him that I was interested in neutral bags really honed in what my priorities were when selecting and looking for a bag. So he told me when he saw this baton, he immediately thought of me because I always wear neutral colors like this. He thought that it was match all my outfits perfectly, and he kind of went on about that. And I thought that that was so sweet of him to think of me and my style when he was selecting this bag for me. But again, like I said, I think it is helpful for your SA and keeping you in mind if you have kind of a certain style that you're going for. Again, this is totally up to you. If you like something eccentric, you love any kind of color, tell your SA and he or she will definitely be able to find the right bag for you. But I think if you're kind of like me and you like neutral colors, dressing neutrally and conveying what kind of style would match what kind of bag would definitely help you along in your journey. The next thing I would recommend, and this can be a tough one if you kind of have a strict work schedule, is I would really recommend setting up appointments with your SAs not on the weekends, and specifically if you can come in mornings and towards the beginning of the month. I know that I said, and I asked my SA if like large shipments come in at the beginning of every month, and he said no. That can definitely be true, it could definitely be random, I totally believe that. But I had also read online somewhere that stores have kind of a quota or a limit on the number of bags they can sell per month, for example. So kind of when it's approaching towards the end of the month and maybe the store has already hit their quota or limit, they're much less likely inclined to sell a customer a bag than they are at the beginning of the month when, you know, the quota has just been emptied again and they need to fulfill it. So I would totally recommend trying to come in at the beginning of the month. I just do feel like stock is better for some reason. And the second thing is I would recommend coming in the mornings. I think that weekday mornings are just very quiet and peaceful. I've gone into my local store on the weekends and it is like a zoo. There are so many people, no SAs available to help you because they all have their pre-existing appointments. So coming in on a weekday morning for an appointment, either with an SA you know or without, will just create a more calm experience so that your SA has time and attention to focus just on you, helping you select the products that you'd like to see. And then I also recommend the mornings just based on what my SA said, and this could just maybe be specific to my boutique, but he did say in the morning because I was his first customer, he could offer me what he had allocated to him that day. And of course I think that on special circumstances, SAs can request certain bags even after what they've been allocated or whatever, but it may help being the first customer that your SA sees that day to get kind of first pick of what inventory they might already be aware about. So just keep that in mind. And then my absolute last tip is to just be truly genuine in a way that you can express that you are truly interested in what Hermes has to offer. And I know this sounds kind of silly, like, oh, I have to express my loyalty to this brand. I have to show how much I love everything that they have, even if I don't love everything. But I think I have a bit of a unique experience because I do love like the equestrian world. And my SA jokes that, and I joke that I'm like a crazy horse girl or whatever. I'm not, but, or I think I'm not, but I think that really helps because there's just a little bit more for me to kind of explore in the brand. Like I love all the heritage about how the bags were made, you know, like the Evelyne was originally like a groomer's bag, the Beton was like a feed bag and everything like that. I love all those little tidbits of knowledge and learning about that. And then also being able to explore, you know, the equestrian line at Hermes, or even because I have a dog, looking at the dog line of Hermes. I'm about to move into a new apartment, which is why my desk is a little empty, and I will probably be quite soon moving into my new apartment, and there will be a different background and everything, but that will allow me to spark a conversation with my SA about, oh, I'm moving, you know, I'm super interested in getting some pillows, some throws, some new plates and things like that. So just kind of tying in aspects of your life to what you're interested in Hermes, and then having that just like really organic conversation with your SA about all those topics and really getting to know each other, I think is so important and really, really a driver for having a successful Hermes journey. So I know that a lot of people might not think that this is a success by any means, having your first bag be an Evelyne. You know, this is obviously a very entry-level Hermes bag, but I think this is really special to me because it is my first Hermes bag, and I'm really, really grateful that I've had a good experience so far. Also, one thing I wanted to note is that I think it's really easy to just be swept up by Hermes. There's so many beautiful things that you can buy. Your essay might be recommending different things, you might be wanting different things, but really important to keep your budget in mind. This week and a half-ish was definitely a splurge because I had no idea that this bag was going to enter my life. But I think it's, again, really important to kind of moderate your spending over a period of time. Hermes does care about how much you are spending and what you're buying and across what different departments, but they also do care about how long you've been with the brand, from what I've read. So buying everything that you want in the first month or two might not be so helpful because you're still a relatively new customer to them. And then what are you going to buy the next time you see your essay? So these are definitely all things that I really, really wanted, and I know that I'm going to love and enjoy. And there's a lot of other things on my list, but I'm going to just try to buy now, you know, 1 or 2 pieces every month to continue my journey. Of course, if a beautiful bag comes up, I probably can't say no. There is, of course, the Picotin still on my list. I hope to continue to share my fun journey with you guys and any other tips and tricks that I find along the way. Before we end the video, I will just show you this mauve pale belt because this color, this new seasonal color, is just to die for, I think. Also, sorry, it's after work when I'm filming this video, so it's getting a little bit dark, but look at this beauty with palladium hardware. I mean, I know people went crazy over rose sakura and everything like that, but mauve pale, I think, is coming in a close second. This looks like a really light purple in some lights, looks like a really beautiful pink in others. So if you're looking for just that beautiful subtle pop of color, I highly recommend you check out any kind of mauve pale pieces that Hermes might have at your local boutique. Thank you so much, you guys, for listening in to my short little story time about how I got my first Hermes bag. Before we end the video, I did want to intro my Shiba Inu. Sorry, he's been such a distraction. I think this video, he's really ramped up because I just got home from work and he wants to play. But let me see if I can grab him really quick so I can do a proper introduction. Alright, so this is my very stubborn Shiba Inu Bori. He is a 1-year-old male Shiba Inu. I got him from Korea, actually, which is where I'm from. So he's very, very special to me, and he's my very first dog ever. He is like I said, very stubborn, and he loves attention, so you'll definitely see him popping up in future videos. And sorry for all the cuts in this video, it's because he was digging and wanting to play and whining and all that kind of stuff. So he says sorry for interrupting the video, but for any of you who asked to see him, thank you so much. He loves all the attention, and I'm gonna have to let him go. Doesn't like being held, but okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I will definitely catch you in the next one. Bye!